Hello 2021! Let's start this year with a question. What is the one thing that's a measure of success? I'll wait. Okay, if you said money or luxury or fame, then I'm sorry to say, but no. There's this one thing that's the most important, and that is time, because you can't really make more time. And because time is so important, it's really essential to know how to manage your time, how to use it to maximize your rate of success, and most of all, how to be more productive. So how to do more in less time. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret of mine, because I've been doing speed designing techniques for like 6 or 7 years now, and I'm super fast at designing. And of course, a lot of that comes from experience. You know, I've been doing this 21 or 22 years now, so when I see a problem, a design problem, I almost instantly see a solution to it, because I've seen just so much stuff. But not all of it comes from experience. So there are some things that you can learn today, right now, that are gonna make your workflows a lot faster. And I'm gonna teach you 2 little techniques that I use. They're gonna be in Sketch, but you can do them just the same in Figma, Adobe XD, or any other tool of your choice. And these 2 techniques are the basis of what I'm gonna build as a paid course later this year. That's gonna be a very comprehensive speed designing course. But right now, those 2 little things that you can start doing today are gonna save you a lot of time anyway. And we're talking about saving seconds here. And you might ask yourself, well, why should we save seconds? It's just seconds, it's not a lot of time. But as with everything, those seconds compound. So over the course of a year, those seconds can turn into minutes, hours, days, or even weeks. It all depends how you optimize your workflow. So saving a second or 2 on a repetitive task that you do a lot can actually save you really a lot of time. And of course, there is more to this technique, but I'm gonna cover that in the course. So for now, let's just focus on the 2. So let's begin. So we're gonna start with nudge. There are 3 ways that you can actually move objects around with your keyboard: nudge, push, and shove. By default, when you select an object and you just press an arrow key, it nudges the object by 1 point. Push happens when you press shift while nudging, and that is gonna move by default by 10 points. And then shove is simply Alt Shift and the arrow keys, and that's gonna push it to 15. If you're working on an 8-point grid, you can modify the nudge value to be 8, for example. Then the push value can be 16 and the shove value can be 32 or 48. There are plugins you can use for every design tool that allow you to modify the default shove, nudge, and push values. And if your design is done with an 8-point grid or a different one than the default 10, it's gonna save you a lot of time to use a plugin like that. Precise nudging of objects is a lot of key presses, and you'd like to minimize that. So in this case, we wanted to move an object from a distance of 163 to 155. And normally it requires you those 8 1-point nudges. But it's actually faster to nudge it 2 points in the other direction and then push it 10 points in the right direction. It's gonna achieve the exact same effect, but with 3 key presses instead of 8. So try to consciously play around with the nudge, shove, and push values, and try to always choose the shortest path to achieving the right distance. And remember, sometimes to go forward much faster, you need to take a step or 2 back. The second thing is doing speed simple icons yourself within the document. And if you're not working on a design system, it usually takes a while for you to go to an external document, find the icon, copy it, paste it onto the artboard, and then use it. And in some cases, it's just a lot faster to do it in place. One of the most popular icons is the chevron, and you can actually make one by choosing the path key and then holding shift, just use a diagonal line and then the second one down. And then you can modify the stroke width and change the color, and basically that's it. And once you lock the proportions, you can make it bigger or smaller, however you like, and then modify the stroke to match. And if you have one, then you can easily rotate it into every possible direction that you can imagine and have a set that's right there in the document without going anywhere and looking for them. Just very quick way to achieve this very simple icon. A lot of the most commonly used icons can be done that way. Let's take the magnifying glass or the search icon as an example. It's simply just one oval and one line, and you can create it in just a second or 2. Then you can click on the union icon to merge the two objects, and then simply rotate it 45 degrees, as that's how most of the search icons look like. And you're done. Another popular icon is the arrow, but since we already know how to make a chevron, it's basically just adding one more line to it. And with outline icons you can easily choose the roundness of them as well. But even some of the more complex icons can also be quickly done using this technique. Let's say we want to make an edit icon, which usually is a pencil, so we only need 3 rectangles. Then select the bottom one, press enter, and then add one more point on the bottom edge, and then you can remove the points on the left and the right. And with a couple of adjustments and also rotating it 45 degrees at the end, we end up with a pencil icon that actually took seconds to make, so a lot less than it would take you to actually find one in an external file. So make the list of the most common icons you're using all the time, like the arrows, chevrons, search, hamburger icon, and then try to do them as quickly as you can using just some simple lines and shapes. Okay, and that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. And don't forget to practice this, because it's really gonna make your workflows a lot faster. Cheers.